Welcome back. Episode 15, No Cap Sports. We getting back on that regular schedule, so make sure y'all stay locked in because we here all summer, man. So with that being said, episode 15, Tim Tebow episode.
No.
For sure.
Try again, bro.
I'm not finna name it the Brandon Marshall episode. I'm
What's
sorry.
wrong with that? What's wrong with that? We had the best draft in the NFL. What's wrong with Brandon Marshall?
And don't Brandon Clark worth it too?
Man,
You're right, bro.
I told you
right,
this is a black show, Nick. This is a black
But
show.
I mean, if you heard Brandon Clark's voice, is it really a black show? But anyway, we'll give it to Brandon Clark. Episode 15, the BC episode.
In memory of Brandon Clark, got you guys murdered by Andrew Wiggins last night, bro.
Hey, chill out, bro. We still mem this.
Nah, don't say that. That's
now they gonna lose game 3.
I was about to say just because you said that. That's a horrible phrase.
My fault, bro.
You know, nobody from Memphis said that, bro.
You're right.
Made that slogan.
Somebody said that they made that they were from Covington or Feds.
Nah, they was definitely from Nashville, Knoxville. It was like, guys, fish sounds like this.
These black people are gonna love this shit.
Put it on a towel.
Lose game 1.
Oh, God, no cap. That nigga Josh seen that shit and he was like, no way. That's why the nigga missed the layup, bro. He was like, mem this layup.
But Josh, go and get it started, man. Hit us with that. Bye.
Man, first of all, this is a music segment. Our true listeners know. So I would be remiss if I did not shout out all the musical guests that have been courtside for the first 3 games of the Ja Morant show. You got Usher, you got Boosie Badass, you got Moneybagg Yo, you got Yo Gotti. Gucci Mane was a ref last night. So a lot of different musical guests. You know, a lot of people showing their Cat Williams was there, not a musician, but famous person.
Wait,
So,
hold on, time out. I got 2 things to say about that, bro.
Cat Williams.
No. About the music, bro. First of all, you ain't mentioned Justin Timberlake. That's kind of disrespectful.
He be all the games. That don't count.
Second of all, bro, I'm not a fan of Boosie at the games, bro. He wasn't here for the grit and grind there. He just want to come out because Ja there now, bro. If he wasn't there for the come up, you don't need to be there when we on top, man.
You realize them Grizzlies was scoring like 70 points in a game, bro? Nobody want to watch that.
I was there.
No.
On me.
I was there.
Even as a fan.
And the Little Caesars $5 seats. I was there.
Oh, God.
Nobody wanted to watch that. I mean, even as a fan, like, it'd be like middle of the third quarter. We just cracked 50 points. This is exciting. So, like, it was the different brand of basketball. And Ja's a different type of superstar. He brings out different people, obviously. So, his daddy, pretty cool. Like, that's hard. I never seen nobody drunk daddy get an actual interview on ESPN. Like, T. Miranda's repping, you feel me, for us. You feel what I'm saying? The Trish babies. You feel what I'm saying? So, totally like Nick tries to avert, but this is a black show, so we support black fatherhood. LeVar Ball, T. Morant, black parents.
Josh Crawford.
He can only name 2 fathers.
Gloria James. I don't know.
Wanda Durant.
Man, say it again, Nick. Come on, bro. That's why I say we gotta shine a light because
even Pat Bev got a dad somewhere, bro. Who knows?
Tripping. But like I said, this is a music segment. We'll talk about some music. Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams of North Memphis hip hop fame. He was just sentenced the other day. 3 years. Not a bad sentence. Only 36 months. I think he had a 10-year probation. But like I said, because Nick be scary, we'll talk about his music. So he dropped. I think he dropped the deluxe on top of a deluxe. Is that what happened?
Deluxe.
I never had that. Never heard of that. Shiesty Season certified. And there's 32 tracks in total on this album. Or deluxe albums.
Yeah.
This album, this deluxe album, like Nick said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 8 new songs. One, he got the Jack Harlow and joint with him and Jack Harlow. That was a single at first. So yeah, what y'all think about Pooh's Deluxe?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That joint dropped Thursday at midnight. I had a conference track meet Friday. I listened to that on the bus from the hotel to the track meet. Ran my best time, bro. That joint hard. That's all I can say. That joint hard.
Still didn't qualify though. What do you think about it, man?
All right, for sure.
I'm just telling. Hey, brother. You're right. I shouldn't have said that, but you're right. The thing that you share with me in confidence. You're right. I abuse your trust, so I'm sorry. What do you think about it, Vance?
Bro, 10 out of 10. I hope he get out of prison soon.
10 out of 10. It's only 8, so it's gonna be 8 out of 8. But I understand.
All right, 8 out of 8, bro. My bad.
Y'all got a favorite song on there? Don't say an old one, say a new one.
I ain't gonna lie, the jump with Baby K.
Yep.
That junk crazy.
I like that. I like him and Baby K because I like the one he did with Baby K on his. No, I like the one that Scar did with Baby K. Was it No Ball or something like that on his album?
Yeah.
I like Baby K. I like Baby K. Yes, Pooh Shiesty, I was the hometown hero, somebody that we're very in tune with. So yeah, free that boy. But I think the biggest musical headline of the week, or this is the last quarter, was the Toxic God dropped. Future, the man for the streets, dropped another anthem for us. Nicholas Hayes, I see you shaking your head. You getting emotional over there a little bit. I know you're kind of a fan of this kind of genre of music. Let me let you have the floor, brother. What do you think about this?
It hit perfect time for me, bro.
Perfect
time.
Are you gonna do one of your one? Are you gonna treat your ladies now bad because Future told you to?
I plead the fifth.
This is not wilding out, bro. Do not plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
What say you, Mr. Laws? Oh, continue, sir.
You know, it just hit at a perfect time in my life, man. You know what I'm saying? You get caught up in some situations in life. You know what I'm saying? The music kind of help you get through them situations. So listen to that Future, bro. Brought me some clarity.
Well, somebody's snitching on themselves. Man, say something else before Nick continues to incriminate himself.
Oh man, I mean, it was a cool album. Wasn't his best. Wasn't his worst though. You know, so I feel like the more I listen to it, the more I like more songs. How many songs was it, like 15?
Nah, he ended up dropping the deluxe yesterday, so it's like 22 now.
He dropped the deluxe too.
Yeah.
He better let us get the regular jump off. That's crazy.
Come on, bro.
You said what?
So you know he had to drop the deluxe, bro. You knew if Scooter wasn't on the first one, he had to be coming soon.
This is
he has another album coming out soon too, huh?
Yeah, he said he going crazy all soon.
Yeah, all right. So I only downloaded 5 songs, but my favorite one was Voodoo with Kodak on it. Kodak went crazy.
But
the lip smack tells me you think otherwise, sir.
Puffin' on Zooty's the hardest song I hadn't heard in a minute.
Oh, I downloaded it. I ain't gonna lie.
He caught a flow on that joint.
Yeah.
So you telling me you be smoking weed, Mr. Hayes? Talking about smoking on Zooties? I'm about to say you are puffing on Zooties. You right.
I didn't even know that's what the Zooty was, but I'm a suburban boy.
I don't know. I was just guessing myself. You know what I'm saying?
Urban Dictionary.
Man, say it again. You know, you walk around the hallways out here in Prairie View, you smell a certain scent. You feel what I'm saying? So I've had to come up just
snakes, not weed. Nothing.
So, like I said, this is gonna be a draft-heavy episode. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of the draft, 2 major trades happened on draft day. The first one being Hollywood Brown going from Baltimore to Arizona in exchange for the 23rd overall pick, which Baltimore ended up parlaying into center Tyler Lindenbaugh with the 25th overall pick. And then the second big trade, I know Vance is gonna love this one. AJ Brown being shipped from Tennessee to the Eagles. The Titans received the 18th and 101 picks in the draft, and the 18th pick turned into Treylon Burks. So Vance, just talk about that Titans trade a little bit. How you feeling?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It hurt my soul, hurt me to the core. But 25 mil, that's a lot of money, bro. We not the Rams. We in Nashville, Tennessee, bro. We got money, but we don't got money like that. But it would be nice to. What would have been nice would have both AJ Brown and Treylon Burks. Trade up for Treylon Burks. I think he's like that for sure. I'm gonna read off a list of names: OBJ, Cooper Kupp, AB, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Those are the last 3 Super Bowl winners, bro. The receiving corps, the top receivers. Does Robert Woods and Treylon Burks win you a Super Bowl? Hell no. Now, could Treylon Burks and AJ Brown win your Super Bowl? Possibly. I mean, bro, they just replacing him. I think they should have added more to him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. 2 years ago when y'all let Corey Davis walk, I was questioning that move, bro. I didn't like that. I ain't like that.
You know, I'm not a fan of the dude, but you know.
What's wrong with Corey Davis, man? He's a New York Jet now. Nothing wrong with Corey Davis.
Man, not for long, bro. Y'all drafted his replacement.
I mean, the more the merrier. Let me hop in real quick if this is acceptable. I like Treylon Burks a lot. I think that he would have been a top 10 guy if we had ran what we thought he was gonna run. I think that in terms of, like you said, Vance, this is the best that y'all gonna be able to do, because it seemed like there was a big gap between what AJ Brown wanted to get paid, and what y'all willing to pay him. So to get a first round pick out of it, I know Tyreek Hill just got traded for like half the damn draft. But please remember that both DeAndre Hopkins and Julio Jones, who yes are older, but I don't believe AJ Brown is as good as them. Neither one of them got first round picks. So for y'all to get a first and a fourth for a guy that I do believe I know he made a Pro Bowl this year. I don't know if he's ever been all pro, but I don't think you can call him one of the 5 best in the game right now. To get a first round pick for him,
It's debatable, but yeah, I see.
I can name 5 receivers for AJ Brown for sure. But not to say that he's bad. But I'm just saying he's not D Hop or Julio Jones.
I mean, the type of offense we run, bro.
Ain't he just a big? Is he not just a huge slot though?
Bro,
he's more than that. He's more than that.
He's on the outside.
He plays X or slot.
X. He plays both, but
I thought Corey Davis was X and then he was slot.
Nah, Corey Davis was the Z. AJ was the X. But still, though, I think AJ's potential is limited in Tennessee. That's a run first offense. But I think he's going.
Tannehill, my bad. But Ryan Tannehill is not the guy that you want to attach the wagon to as a quarterback.
I ain't gonna
as
lie,
a receiver.
I went in a group chat with my friends back home, but they don't call him Tannehill, bro. Call him Tanner shit, bro. That's the funniest thing I've seen.
Not even great.
It is.
That's not. They could Tanner Ho, Tanner Hoo Ha. You just made up a reason to talk shit about this man.
You're right.
Tanner shit. Hate that man. Like
anyway,
no flavor.
My whole point of saying was AJ Brown's going to an offense in Philadelphia where they need another established receiver. Jalen Hurts is in essentially his make it or break it year with the Eagles. Got Devontae Smith, got AJ Brown. I think this could be an explosive offense in Philadelphia next year. But I kind of want to flip the script, kind of look at the Hollywood trade. Because I know, Josh, you got some feelings about it. Why don't you like Hollywood, bro?
I mean, I think we've all said. I mean, I don't dislike him. You know, I respect the man's struggle, but the man went from, working the roller coaster rides, catching 100 balls in the field. I respect. This is a black show. We support black people to start off with. But I mean, how many years have we been saying Lamar needs a true number one? I think we can all agree that. You said it, Nick. Hollywood Brown is not a number one receiver, and he just got traded, and I assume he's gonna get money as if he's a number one receiver. I mean. This is an interesting thing. Did the Cardinals know that D-Hop was going to be gone the first 6 games? Did this precipitate that move? We don't know. But, I mean, you got Christian Kirk, you got Andy Isabella.
Christian Kirk gone. He signed in Jacksonville.
They got Christian Kirk.
That's why they said they did it, to replace Christian Kirk.
How much better is Hollywood Brown than Christian Kirk? I mean, you just drafted, who's the boy they just drafted last year from Purdue?
Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore. Killed Rondale Moore, Andy Isabella. You got a lot of guys that, to me, look the same. You don't have, call it what you want, Nick, but I still believe in the age of big body X receiver. That's why you just seen Drake London go top 8 because he's a big body receiver. So, I was a big Cardinals fan. Y'all weren't as big Cardinals fans. So we got to go with that perspective. But I don't understand it. If you're going to give up a first round pick, I feel like you could have got somebody. Shit, I would like AJ Brown better than Hollywood Brown. They got both the same last name. But I understand you got to make your franchise quarterback comfortable. But we just named 3-4 receivers that I think is better than Hollywood Brown that didn't have as much value as him. So I think this sounds like a move that Kyler was back because the Oklahoma.
Kyler didn't know about it. Nobody knew about it.
That's not good. Nobody knew about it.
Yeah, but because the whole thing was Hollywood asked for a trade. But they didn't want to leak that he asked for a trade. And the Cardinals didn't want to leak that they were going to make the trade in order to allow Baltimore to do what they wanted to do on draft day. So it was kept super under wraps.
So they just traded ones basically. Did they give up their one or they traded ones? Or they gave away their one for him?
They gave away that one for Hollywood.
See, they can't do that because Hollywood Brown's not a number one receiver.
But
don't do that. You don't do that.
Number 23 overall for a guy that's coming off 1,000-yard.
Do you think Hollywood Brown's a number one receiver?
I think he has potential to be a very good receiver.
Do you think he's number one? Do you think he's the number one?
I think, in all honesty, yes, he can be a number one receiver. He's a dynamic guy. He is.
So he can be, but he's not one right now.
He's not going to be number one in Arizona when they have DeAndre Hopkins.
But why did they just trade him? If they just traded
think about it.
First round for a slot?
Yes, you got D-Hop. You got AJ Green, who kind of turned back the clock last year. You need that guy on the slot who's going to be a dynamic playmaker, catch the underneath balls, the intermediate balls, and take the top off the defense. And that's what Hollywood Brown does best.
But you just drafted a guy that did that. and Rondell Moore. The same thing you
But
just said. He does all that.
Rondell Moore is different. Hollywood is a burner. Rondell is the guy you get in space and let him create. That's two different play types. I know you wouldn't understand. Think about an edge rusher that wins with speed versus an edge rusher that wins with power.
That's
two different play types.
So what's the difference between burner? What's the difference between burner and making plays in space? What's the difference in that?
Hollywood's gonna run the deep routes, the streaks, the goes, the posts, the crossers. Rondell's gonna get a lot of screen balls, a lot of jet sweeps, stuff like that. Two different guys.
I mean, I'm not trying to be arguing. I was arguing with my girlfriend all day this morning, but I feel like if they wanted to make Rondell Moore Hollywood Brown, they easily could have done that. So I don't understand the logic in giving up a first rounder when you got all these different needs. You need a pass rusher. Chandler Jones is left. You need some secondary help. You need another guy to be what you thought Isaiah Simmons was going to be, and you just invested in what I think is probably your most plentiful position group. So I don't understand it personally.
That's fair. Vance, any thoughts?
I wonder if the Cardinals pulled the trigger because they knew DeAndre Hopkins was going to fail his drug test. I really think it's 50-50. But I think he will be a good pairing with D-Hop when D-Hop gets back. Now, is he worth a first rounder? I think you could have got him for a second, honestly. But, you never know, bro. Somebody else would have pulled the trigger before them, so you got to pull it now or forever hold your peace. So,
So let me ask you.
Huh?
I was gonna say, who did they draft? Did Baltimore draft a receiver?
Nope.
No, like third.
They drafted.
They didn't draft a receiver at all.
They drafted one of.
They drafted two tight ends.
I'm about to say they drafted one of my favorite tight ends, and likely that's your boy, man. Nick Jadon, man. That's he's a late round guy, but he was one of the most productive tight ends in college football in the past couple seasons. A long range guy. I see baby Darren Waller. Honestly, that may be a little high, but 6'5" can run like that. When he was a receiver, like I think that was a good pick for them. I think he was gonna go a lot higher, but he's not gonna be Hollywood Brown year one. He's not gonna replace that production. And honestly, they got Mark Andrews. I mean, they're a run heavy team. He's not a great blocker, but he's just not what they needed. I mean, he's cool to be down the seams, whatever, but they need a guy that's gonna run that post and get open, gonna run that corner and get open, gonna run that stop and go and get open. And I don't know how healthy Rashad Bateman is, but they don't have a guy that can win one-on-one coverage consistently right now. And that's a problem for Lamar.
That's facts. And we're going to talk about that some more as we get into the draft part. So kind of continuing our draft talk, looking at the draft holistically, a lot of teams made a lot of big moves.
Big word.
Holistically. I know. That's a Millsaps word. But like I said, looking at the draft holistically, a lot of teams made a lot of moves. A lot went down on draft night. So which team do y'all think won the draft? The way you dancing, Talk to me.
Shout out to Omarion, you feel what I'm saying? Do it for Lil Saint and them. But, obviously y'all know, like I said, we're friends, allegedly. So y'all know my dire dreary existence as a Jets fan, loyal Jets fan. So this is the most excitement I've been able to have in a long time. I think we've been doing the podcast 2 years, so obviously I think y'all remember my mixed feelings towards Zach Wilson. Still would prefer to see Justin Fields in a Jets uniform, but bygones be bygones. He looks good or whatever. Yeah, man, we're a team with a lot of holes. Thankfully, quarterback did not appear to be one. That's probably the biggest hole you can have as a football team. So I think we've taken care of that one. So as we all play football, once you get your quarterback, first of all, protect your quarterback. We draft ABT last year. We draft Becton the year before. A lot of people are kind of out on Becton. I'm in on Becton. If nothing else, we just drafted this man with a first round pick. And a top 5 pick is tech. He better work out. So we have 2 first round picks on the offensive line. We got a guy, Michael Carter, that I really liked last year at a UNC. I like both of those UNC running backs. We got Corey Davis, who he can be a number 1 for right now. He like the Ryan Fitzpatrick number 1 receivers. He can get the job done for a certain amount of time. We got Elijah Moore, a guy at Ole Miss last year, top of the second round. Looks like Hollywood Brown, really fast, really catch. I think he was like the 9th best receiver in football after week 10 or something like that. So yeah, man, but we still have a lot of holes, especially on defense. So first pick, best defensive player in the draft, my perspective. Sauce Gardner, 6'3" corners, hard to find. 6'3" corners with skill and athleticism and elite tape, unheard of. So you get a guy like that, people talk about Stingley versus Sauce. Give me Sauce over Stingley. 3 years. 3 years of A. 3 years of A is more than 1 year of A++ for me. So that on that. Number 2, got to get Zach Wilson another weapon. I wanted Drake London. You know my affinity for big edge receivers, but we couldn't get him. Atlanta snapped him up. Whatever. Here, I'm gonna say F them. But you get a guy that looks like receiver 2 and receiver 1. You've been schooling me, Nick. You don't have to be 6'3" to be able to have a large catch radius and go get the ball and stuff like that. And Gary Wilson's probably the first time I believed you. He's a guy 5'11", 6 foot, ran a 4.38 at the combine. I think he had like a 38-inch vertical, and this guy that, like you say, can go get the ball in space, go get the ball in jump ball situation, which is an added benefit as well being a quick, fast route guy with him. So I think we knocked down our first 2 picks, which is what I want. Because you get 2 top 10 picks, that's where you need to take advantage of your draft capital. You trade back into the first round. I'm glad you said that. For a guy that I think is probably the most polished pass rusher in the draft. Thank you, Nick. It was a great setup. Jermaine Johnson. Actually, he came from fame from Last Chance U, stardom, number 1 JUCO player in the country, went to Georgia, 5 sacks on a Georgia team that we probably would consider the best college football defense for a while last year. Transferred to Florida State, is an impact player. ACC player of the year, 12 sacks, best player on a very bad Florida State team, but nonetheless, I'm really excited. He's a guy that he wins in a multitude of different ways. And we all know that one-trick ponies, even at y'all level, don't succeed for a long time. You have a guy.
What you mean?
It wasn't this, bro. Come on, bro. It wasn't even one-trick guys at any level of football don't pan out that well. You look at a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, I'm not gonna throw out the typical racial stereotype because I'm a good person, but he's not a guy that's gonna beat you with speed. He's not a guy that ran a 4.5 like Jermaine Johnson. He's gonna win in large part in a certain way. Is that you think that's correct? Kayvon Thibodeaux, another guy. I liked him a lot more actually. I liked him more than Jermaine Johnson. But I knew we were gonna get at 26. But get off. Elite pass rush. I'm gonna win with my first move. I'm gonna win with outside rush. I'm not gonna really counter back or bull rush you or nothing like that. I'm gonna win this pass rush attempt within the first 3 to 4 steps. What you see with Jermaine Johnson, you can see a guy that can do both. 265, ran a 4.58, freaky combination of speed and power and weight. The number 1 overall guy got drafted off of same type of measurables, and got production, 12 sacks, 5 sacks in Georgia on a very crowded defensive line, very crowded. 17 sacks the past 2 years. Elite run defender, so he's not a guy that you're going to take off the field on first or second down. High character guy. He's been to these different places, but all these coaches speak very highly of him. And he's a polished product. He's not a guy to where like Kayvon Thibodeaux, we got to see how good is he going to be, how much he's have to develop, how many things that have to go right. He's a guy that is coming in as an ACC Defensive Player of the Year. So it's like, I'm excited. So actually, thank you, Nick. That was probably my favorite pick because we kind of had to get those first 2 right, honestly. But Joe Douglas, seeing him fall down the board where a lot of people seen him as a top 10, top 15 guy. So to see him fall all the way down to the late 20s, late first round, and to have an innovative GM that can be like, we like this guy. We could have took him at 10. We could have seen ourselves taking him at 10 to trade back in and to get him, to snipe him, really. That's an excellent pick. And I think that he's a guy that can be a double-digit sack guy for a long time in his league. And outside of quarterback and lockdown corner, those edge rushers, they're at a premium right now because it's just a pass-heavy league. So I think that it's even in terms of personnel, our board, and even just the way the league is going, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, these guys are not known for making plays with their legs. They're going to attack man coverage. They're going to attack the cold to cover 2, and they're going to try to make plays downfield. And we got guys that can stop that in 2 different areas of the field. Talking about Sauce Gardner, a guy that I can see as Revis 2.0, somebody that can travel with your best receiver, and a guy Jermaine Johnson is going to make it hard on you to stay upright in the pocket. So extremely excited. And like Nick said, I couldn't get to Breece Hall in the boards, but very ecstatic. Most excitement we've had in a long time as a Jets fan, honestly.
Yeah, so for me, if I had to say who won this draft, I got a shocking answer, bro. Because watching the draft initially, I was confused. I got to give it to Bill Belichick and the Patriots, bro. They always find a way to find a way. You know what I'm saying?
I made the same face.
I mean, look, bro. Look, I made the same face day one when they trade out of the first round and trade back in to draft the offensive guard from Chattanooga.
Bro, I had an offer to UT Chat. You telling me if I could have went there and been a first round pick?
I mean, you had to actually be good, but
That's true. But still, though, that we don't got no first round of that Prairie View. First, that was crazy. I'm sorry to cut you off, but first, like, there's a little tangent, I guess, for us. Like, we just seen a guy in Trey Lance become the second overall pick last year, the FCS. Carson Wentz, like, is the FCS is that separation like no longer?
I'm not gonna say that. I think the gap is closing in football, period. Because you look at the draft this year, guys from D2, I think the D2 got drafted in the 3rd or 4th round.
Joshua Williams. Some of them Josh boys.
Wherever the talent is, they're going to find you. And that's what Bill Belichick did with Cole Strange. Bill said he wasn't going to be there much longer after 29. I believe him. Get a guy you like, get him early. You know what I'm saying? Because like Van said, if you don't take him in, you never know what can happen. So we get a guy, replace the interior O-line we lost, a guy who was rated very highly. And then the rest of the draft, we get speed, straight speed. And that's something the Patriots have been lacking since I don't know when. I don't know the last time Patriots had speed, probably Randy Moss, bro. You get Tyquan Thornton at number 50, the fastest receiver in the draft. You get a guy, Marcus Jones, a corner, who also doubles as a return man and who also is a ball hawk.
Most explosive player in college football.
Exactly. You lose J.C. Jackson, Mr. INT. You bring another guy who can make similar plays in the nickel, in the slot, in terms of creating turnovers. And then that doubles as a return man after losing Gunnar Olszewski this year. So then you come back again. You get Pierre Strong, a nice running back who could potentially replace James White after James White has some injury issues this year. And then I also think our late round picks in the 6th round, Sam Roberts, the defensive tackle, and Chason Hines, offensive guard from LSU, I think they have a chance to be some real contributors on this Patriots team. So I think Bill went into this draft with a plan. They executed that plan. And I think this draft will pay dividends in the next years upcoming, especially with that speed, bro.
I didn't even know I was supposed to dislike you, Nick. You know, we were big rivals, so that makes your unlikability even more clear. You know, that's surprising for me. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I think that was probably one of, and I'll let Van go, but that Cole Strange is probably one of my biggest reaches in the first round. Tyquan Thornton, for real. I'm not even trying to joke on him, but like Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah, I agree, bro.
He's a guy that was on nobody's draft board till he ran that 40 time. So I understand you're talking about the speed, but
I mean,
those guys that rise up, I'm always a little shaky on them.
I think Tyquan Thornton put a lot of good stuff on tape. You know what I'm saying? I think the 40, like we said, just kind of boosted him up. But I think he was a guy who was going to get drafted regardless. Maybe it would have been 3rd, 4th round. But Tyquan Thornton is a legitimate playmaker. A guy with size, I want to say he's like 6'3", can win the jump balls, can burn you with speed, and can also get the ball and make something happen with it. Because if you look at it, he was the leading receiver on that Baylor team last year. And that's a Baylor team that won the conference and won a bowl game.
But also was focused on running the ball.
I mean, true, but he still went over 1,000. Or right at 800.
I'm trying to be a better person. Amen. That surprised me. I think, and I will let you go, man. The only thing comment I have left is, you know, like you said, Bill Belichick swung high on these traits. You know, talking about Tyquan Thornton, 4.2 speed. Have you seen the brother's drop percentage? But you know, Bill Belichick has earned the what's it called? The benefit of the doubt. Jack, I think potentially the best player that could come from this draft is the guy y'all drafted in the 4th round. I think Jack Jones, DB out of Arizona State. My teammate is from Cali out here. One of my running backs out here knows him personally. I've gotten to speak with him a couple times. I've watched him since high school. That's a big swing of miss, Nick. Very uber talented guy. He's a top 5 recruit. Originally went to USC, I think.
What?
He's from Long Beach Poly. Got that DB #1 attitude. But this is a guy, like, if you haven't read about him or looked at some of the things that he's done off the field, like, it's pretty serious. This ain't no speeding or no weed charge I'm talking about. So, like, he's a super talented guy. He looks like J.C. Jackson a little bit, but, like, that's the thing to where, you know, Bill Belichick has bet high on high-risk personalities, too. So, and this is in general, this is a very much I believe in what I'm doing draft. Talking about Strange, Tyquan Thornton, Jack Jones, like, those are 3 guys. I think that's your top 3 picks that's either going to go really good or really bad. So I hope it goes really bad for y'all, but you know, Bill doing what Bill does.
This one first times, maybe the first time I actually agree with Josh on the Jets. You know, I believe y'all went 4 for 4. You know, Sauce Gardner might be the best corner out this draft. Garrett Wilson might be the best receiver out this draft. Jermaine Johnson II, he might be the best DN out this draft. Breece Hall, he might be the best running back out this draft, bro.
Did I not call it when we was texting in the group chat? when we traded back. Did I not text in the group chat? That's when we was drafted because Joe Douglas said he loved him.
I give you that. Now, Nick, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Y'all first 2 picks were 4th rounders, and y'all took them in the 1st and 2nd round, bro. That's weird. That's strange activity. No pun intended. So y'all know I like the Cowboys and the Titans. It's just crazy because
Cowboys. Talk about it. Left tackle.
The teams in our divisions, bro, went crazy in the draft. You know, with the Eagles and the Colts, they went crazy. For the Eagles, they got a nice addition to the front 7 in the Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis. Then they added a center. Yeah.
Hey, that Nakobe Dean slide was crazy, bro. No cap. When the Patriots traded to that number 50 pick was they used to get Taquan, I thought they were gonna get Nakobe, put him with Hightower, and I was like, oh no. But when he kept sliding, I said, "There's no way, bro."
Man, bro. Yeah, they said he got injury problems and he won't get surgery on his shoulder, which you should. Might as well go ahead and get it done. But I mean,
I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy. Like me and Nick had worked out. I'm sorry to cut you off, but me and Nick had worked with Kobe.
Yeah.
And Nick can attest to that dude is a beast.
Yeah, bro.
Like that dude is I don't know if you've ever worked out with a person, like he looks like NFL 1st round draft pick dude. Listen, cut up, like fast.
Anybody that could take Horn Lake High School to the state championship.
Facts. At linebacker.
Georgia ain't won a natty in 40 years. Nakobe Dean leading the charge on that too, bro. Like he's a champion, bro. He's a winner, bro. Facts. I want him on my team.
Facts. That's something. Some people overthink stuff like that. Talking about you said his pick, but you're not gonna. There were not 10 or 15 better football players in that draft than Kobe Dean. So
yeah, bro. He the best player on the best defense ever in college football history, and you slide to the 3rd round. Come on, bro. You drunk
over the Terry Crews Giants, like
man. So the Eagles got better. I think they passed up the Cowboys because the Cowboys did not get better this offseason and in the draft. And with that being said, the Titans did not get better, but the Colts and the Houston Texans did. The Texans, Derek Stingley, number 3, bro, possibly the best corner. They took Kenyon Green, a guard. All of their picks are for the future, bro. Jalen Petrie, the safety out of Baylor, bro. Speed, and he can hit. I'm not saying he's gonna be Ed Reed. He might be Texas Ed Reed. He ain't gonna be Baltimore Ed Reed.
He can run fast, but he can't cover. That's not what you want as a DB.
Bro, all right, but here's here's their best pick, the value pick. In the 2nd round, the number 44 overall pick. They traded up to get John Mechie, bro. Now, not this year. You booing, but in a couple of years, they're gonna be the best team. Christian Harris, a linebacker from Alabama. They got Dameon Pierce, the running back from Florida. This is not for next season. It might not even be for the season.
Very SEC heavy, I might add.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. And then the pick that I love the most that they got was Thomas Booker, a D tackle out of Stanford, bro. He can play, he can pass rush, and he can oh my gosh, he can go against the run. But I feel as if what they did in this draft was set up for the future. So in about 3 or 5 years, bro, the Texans gonna be right up there. Probably better than the Colts. Matt Ryan's gonna be gone. Definitely better than the Titans. Definitely better than the Jag. Everybody gonna be better than the Jaguars, no matter what's going on.
So what did the Colts do, Vance? I don't know what they did.
The Colts, they got it. They went heavy with linemen and tight ends. They know what's up, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of surprised by the Texans' moves because, like Van said, they set them up for the future. But in doing that, they're putting a lot of stock in Davis Mills, a guy who played some good football last year, but I'm not sure if he's the guy.
Come on, bro. They don't believe that either. But the coach
they said they're gonna give him the year.
Because there was no good quarterbacks in this draft. They ain't got no choice but to give him a year.
But I mean, they didn't go after a veteran or anything like that in the offseason.
They're not ready. There's no point.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, why win 8 games when you could lose 2 and get the number 1 pick, bro?
Yeah.
May I ask a question for you smart guys? Because you're talking about the Texans, Kenyon Green, guy I played against actually this year. Very, very good. Very good. Gonna be very good. And you talk about the Patriots drafting Cole Strange. I'm always against drafting interior offensive linemen. You can get you a tackle wherever you want in the 1st round, but an interior offensive line, guards in the guard, I feel as getting those guys in the 1st round places just very high expectations on them guys, unless you're Quentin Nelson or something like that. But like to draft an interior lineman in the 1st round, that means that guy. I mean, any first rounder really, you expect multiple Pro Bowl years out of your first round.
Did you get a first round vibe when you played against him?
The guy that was the best with them was they. Well, I mean, I'm small, man, so he was big, but I mean, he got good feet, good hands, good punch. Like, yeah, I mean,
When he was laying on you, it was like, man, this guy finna get drafted.
nah, I ain't gonna lie.
I got pancaked by a first rounder.
The dude that actually popped when we played A&M the most, which I'm surprised. No, I'm glad we got him. I'm surprised he didn't get drafted. DeMarvin Leal. I talked about him on my little draft stuff that didn't come out, Nick. My bad. But that dude had like 2 sacks. But not gonna lie, A&M, they whole jump was crazy. But back to what I was really saying. Like, these interior offensive linemen in the first round, like, okay, now Cole Strange has to be at least a 2-time Pro Bowler to be justify that pick. People gonna want him to be Zach Martin. People gonna want him to be Travis Frederick. I just feel like that's a lot on interior offensive linemen, especially somebody that we're not looking at play to play. Most people are relying on other people to tell them how good this guy is. It is like, what y'all think? I'm never, speaking into this, I get to be an NFL GM, you will never see GM Josh Crawford draft an interior offensive lineman in the first round. What would y'all think?
I mean, I'm never against drafting interior O linemen because especially if you have your tackle set, your exterior O line, you know what I'm saying? Go interior because still, like the majority of your run game, all of that's gonna come from your interior O lineman. You need athletic guards. That's why I kind of understand the Patriots pick of Cole Strange because Patriots do a lot of power schemes, a lot of things with their pulling guards. So you need an athletic guard that can fit the body type. And you know what I'm saying? If you can get that guy in the first round, get that guy in the first round. Because you got to realize these, you know what I'm saying, just depending on what team it is, different teams have different needs. They use that interior O-line differently. And so for a team like the Patriots, it makes sense to grab an interior O-lineman in the first round, especially after you lose your 2 starting guards this offseason.
Yeah, bro. And if you're a quality offensive lineman, you can play into your 30s. And like I said with the Texans, I mean, they're not gonna be ready next year. So by the time he's hitting his prime, his stride, he probably gonna be 27, 28, and he's gonna be ready to block for whoever is the quarterback. It's not gonna be Davis Mills 5 years from now.
Okay, so give me, and I'm not trying to press the issue, but I still think I'm right. So, okay, interior offensive lineman that you would draft in the first round in the NFL right now. Say Quinn Nelson, it's true. Zach Martin, true. I mean, the Jets just signed Laken Tomlinson. He was a Pro Bowler for the 49ers. I know he was before that. Do y'all, I mean, not that knowing signifies how good to y'all, but do y'all know any other interior offensive lineman that y'all would in the NFL right now that you would spend a first round pick on?
Jason Kelce.
Somebody is pretty good.
Jason Kelce.
Kelce.
Who you said, Vance?
The Browns have somebody.
Ben Antonio. Yeah, okay.
Alex Mack before, you know, he got old.
Hurt, but not now, but before, yeah.
Yeah.
The dude, Creed Humphrey. The dude for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But okay, that's my thing. I think you're right there, man. Creed Humphrey, yeah, revitalized Kansas City's offensive line. When did they get him? He wasn't the first rounder, was he?
I want to say second. I'm not sure though.
I just feel like the depth, like because I feel like a lot of teams aren't getting these guys in the first round. I feel as if you can get somebody that can play 100% or 90% of that value in the second on day 2. And now you're not putting all this pressure on your guard to be Zach Martin, Quentin Nelson, Creed Humphrey, whatever. You can get something that may impact your team a little bit more immediately. Talking about a receiver, not talking about a corner.
I think you're looking at it too big picture. If you go by team basis, the interior O-line matters more to some teams than it does to others. Like I said with the Patriots, a power run scheme, guards pulling, that's a position where I would say guards have just as much value as tackles. A team where guards have just as much value as tackles. Even the 49ers, teams like that, teams that use those heavy inside run schemes, you need quality interior linemen to, you know what I'm saying, make that happen. And for the Texans, you just need a solid O-line, period. You got not Laken Tomlinson, Larry Tunsil as a bookend tackle. You need some guys on that interior. Because the one thing a quarterback hates the most, especially a young quarterback, is pressure right in his face. And you got to deal with that. So I have no problem with the interior O-line. I'll never go against an O-line pick, period, in the first round.
I feel point taken.
Cowboys became relevant again, taking O-linemen in the first round.
Okay.
I think you say the Cowboys window is closed.
Was it ever open? Is the real question.
It was
Was it
open.
ever open?
With the Eagles picks and then traded for AJ, bro? Yeah, it's close.
Damn, you got two teams. They both in the suck next year, fans.
No, I mean Titans not gonna suck. The Cowboys still gonna bully the Eagles and whoever. I mean, not the Eagles, the football team.
The Eagles right now. I ain't gonna lie. Jalen Hurts gonna make a jump. They got two number ones. They got a
running
good
game.
defense.
Man, we still getting 3 out of 4 wins against WFT and the Giants.
But that's facts. That's facts.
We'll make the playoffs, but are we gonna make any noise?
That boy said WFT. I never heard it abbreviated like that. That's
So to wrap up our NFL draft talk, there was a lot of talk about the quarterbacks, man. Only one quarterback went in the first round. Everybody else went in the following rounds. But you know what I'm saying? Every NFL team needs a quarterback to make that push to the next level. And all in all, 5 elite quarterbacks went in this draft. Looking at Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder. So starting off, which quarterback do y'all think is walking into the best situation?
First of all, I would clearly object to your identification of the draft class as elite. I think the NFL told you that there was no elite quarterbacks in here. The fact that I think we all agree as former collegiate football players, quarterback is unequivocally the most important position in our sport. And there was one taken within the top 75 picks. That just tells you the historic weakness of this class. But I advance it like this. I have to say Malik Willis. He was my QB1. Even a lot. He was the QB1 going to the draft this last year's pre-draft cycle. He was my QB1 the whole process. Like you said, Kenny Pickett games theme and all that. But if you had the meme, Nick, you can drop the meme right here where the one that says this is Kenny Pickett holding AirPods and the AirPod is huge. Yeah, I mean, I usually don't discern things as a shorter defensive line myself. I try not to get too much in the measurables, but the fact that Kenny Pickett would have the smallest hand size of any starting quarterback in the last 25 years, that's concerning. I ain't gonna lie, that's very concerning.
I mean, that's why you go double glove, bro.
Okay, but yeah, you already compensated for something, and then when you know better than anybody. What happens when the glove gets wet in the rain? It's out of there.
That's why you get the leather gloves.
No way. Now I ain't gonna lie. If Zach Wilson trots his happy white ass out there in the leather glove next year, I'm switching teams. So I don't know about the leather glove. So I don't usually try. I try to say that those things really don't matter, but it matters in his case because it's historically bad. But going on to my quarterback, Malik Willis, is the guy that you can't deny his talent. Four-star guy coming out of high school, going to Auburn. You can't deny his productivity. Led Liberty to, I think, 9 or 10 wins. Shout out my teammate, Story Jackson. Signed with your Dallas Cowboys fans. Big arm talent. I think, he checks all the boxes. And I think somebody said if he was 6'5", he'll be a top 5 pick. And I definitely believe that to be true. He's a guy that, like I said, he can push the ball downfield. He can make plays outside of the pocket. He's operated within a pro-style offense at Liberty under Hugh Freeze. And, there's the only thing that you talk about with him, which is what you talk about with a lot of these quarterbacks, is accuracy. But I believe, it's my opinion, is you can become a more accurate passer. It's hard, but you can become a more accurate passer.
Let me ask you something, bro. You call Hugh Freeze a pro-style offense. Chad Kelly, what was it, Bo Wallace. None of these guys that Hugh Freeze has coached have had NFL success. So what makes you think Malik Willis will be different?
Because Malik Willis is head and shoulders above talent-wise any of those quarterbacks you just named. Chad Kelly, okay. 7th round undrafted free agent. Bo Wallace probably works at Christian Brothers Automotive somewhere. You can go down the name of Ole Miss quarterbacks. They weren't known for similar to Alabama. They're not known for the quarterback play because they don't make a lot of super high-end quarterbacks in our region. We're known for skill guys, receivers, DBs, linebackers, whatever, guys that run fast and hit it harder. So, that's just the thing in our region. But like I said, with Malik Willis, the only thing that he's missing is the height factor. Obviously, I know that he's not going to be able to. I mean, Liberty, I wouldn't say pro-style, I say productive. That's what I'm saying. You put up a lot of numbers in the offense. And, we see with a guy like Jalen Hurts go from a pro-style, quote-unquote, Alabama to a more college-specific style with Lincoln Riley at OU, and he's having, a lot of success. A lot of people compare Malik Willis to Jalen Hurts. So I think that, we all know that narrative can carry a lot of, stuff like this draft, people's opinions, things like that. And I think that it kind of happened in this case because, if you go look at the film, there's no way you can convince me Kenny Pickett's a better quarterback than Malik Willis. There's a reason.
Bro, the film based
If
off
you look at Kenny Pickett's pre-draft process before this year, he was a 6th to 7th round pick, and Malik Willis was QB1.
But
Kenny Pickett had a great year, but please do not forget his best receiver is probably the best receiver in college football, Jordan Addison.
I mean, bro, who was the last FCS quarterback that did not dominate in college, that just dominated in the NFL?
Steve McNair, shout out to HBC football, baby.
He dominated at all corner.
You said he didn't?
He did. I'm saying.
Oh, you said that didn't dominate.
Yeah.
I mean, Carson Wentz went number 2 in the draft and didn't dominate at
He
won the natty.
I mean, but that's because the team is already like, was he as good as Joe Burrow was at North Dakota State at that level?
Yes.
No.
Yes, he was.
No, he was.
I ain't gonna lie. He was that dude at North Dakota State, man.
Okay, so I'll take that. So Carson Wentz can go number 2 with, we've seen what Carson Wentz looks like. I think somebody could have somebody took Lamar Jackson late first round. Not to say that Malik Willis is Lamar Jackson by any stretch of the imagination, but you got a guy, Lamar Jackson, that was a Heisman winner, but people were trying to get him to switch positions. We all acknowledge that he wasn't the most polished passer coming out of college. I just think that.
All right, so what makes the Titans the best?
Okay. Well, that's what I was supposed to get into. They have the best running back in football right now. If anything happens
right now.
What you mean?
Malik Willis not going to start next season, most likely. He might start when
the question is what quarterback is in the best position right now?
Yeah,
that's going into the best situation.
So what am I supposed to say? Like,
do you think Malik Willis is going to play next season for real?
I mean, Ryan Tannehill doesn't impress me that much. I think if he comes out in slumps, you think if Tannehill comes out the first 4 weeks and throws 12 picks and 8 touchdowns, they won't get Malik Willis a shot?
Doesn't suck into the playoffs though. Like he doesn't suck into the playoffs.
What was the question, Nick? Damn, Van trying to argue me and shit. The question was what quarterback is coming in best position first day one, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, my nigga.
But also you got to take into account, like Van said, Malik Willis is not going to be the day one starter.
But he's still going to the Titans day one. Like, what you want me? Like,
right.
There's no day one starters Pickett because Trubisky. But even they're saying Trubisky and Pickett are going to fight, which I don't think you want to fight with Mitchell Trubisky for your first round pick. That seems to be a red flag. But regardless, it's like you asked me which quarterback is in position day one. Ritter is in an okay spot with London and Pitts. Hal, I don't know, the commander he got Terry McLaurin, whatever. But you talk about Malik Willis, you got a guy that you can give the ball to 20, 25 times a game. You got a first round receiver. You got, they did have AJ Brown. Who's our number 2?
They got Robert Woods now.
Oh, see, that's 2 solid receivers and a great running back. And you had a Pro Bowl lineman, I think Roger Stafford. So you have weapons for at his. Malik Willis has the most weapons at his disposal. I'll say it like that.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Just last question, before we kind of get into our quarterbacks. But do you think Malik Willis will have the best career out of all the quarterbacks drafted? I'm thinking long term.
Best career?
Best case scenario, him and Treylon Burks are McNabb and T.O., bro. It is best case scenario.
Best. You said who got the best career? You talking about Piggy, talking about Malik Willis, talking about Sam Howell, talking about Corral. I think Matt Corral. I think people overestimated his arm talent at Ole Miss because he made a lot of plays and he made a lot of plays with his legs. But I don't think his arm is that strong, and I don't think he'll be able to make plays with his legs. So I don't see him as a really good pick. Really good guy. Another one of my teammates another guy from Cali that one of my teammates out here knows, but I don't see him being successful at the NFL level. So really, when it comes down to me, you're talking about Pickett and Willis or Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter, good guy. I see I don't know with Desmond Ritter, bro. Yes, he was the ultimate quarterback.
Time out. I'll let you sit this one out. Desmond Ritter is my number 1 quarterback in this draft, bro.
Oh, no.
Bro, why you hating?
He said, oh, no?
You hating. You hating, bro.
You are hating, man. Okay.
Desmond Ritter, to me, out of the 5 quarterbacks drafted, Desmond Ritter is the most pro-ready quarterback. You look at the accuracy issues, okay, I agree with that.
He can't throw a 5-yard out, bro. Come on.
Bro, why are you hating? But
That's like the
Desmond,
most important route in the NFL, just for
right.
timing.
If you look at his pro day, he threw the ball well. You look at all of his games against big time opponents, he threw the ball well, bro. There are very few flaws in Desmond Ritter's game, and I think he's going to end up being one of the better quarterbacks in this draft. Just simply one because of the situation he's going into with the Falcons. You look at it, a team that has Kyle Pitts, a guy who came in blazing to start the year. You bring in Drake London. Hopefully, you get Calvin Ridley back sometime soon. This is a team where I think it's set up for Desmond Ritter to have success. And like I said, bro, this is a guy who had success in college, bro. On his over his last season, completed around 65% of his passes, threw for over 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. I think this is a guy who is a pro style quarterback, ready to make that jump to the league. And honestly, I'm surprised he lasted to the third round. Because to me, I think Kenny Pickett is one of the better quarterbacks in the draft, but Desmond Ritter is right below him in terms of potential and talent. And I think just because of the situation he's going into, I think Desmond Ritter has a chance to really be special, especially looking at he's going to be working with offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, who engineered a lot of those Titans teams where the quarterback isn't really required to do a whole lot. So I think Desmond Ritter's in a good situation, man. I know Josh was debating between Malik Willis, Desmond Ritter, but for me, the guy's Desmond Ritter, hands down.
So let me ask you this, Nick, because I do disagree with you, but I'm not saying it's crazy. Like, you look at Malik Willis. Oh, I guess it wasn't a question, but my opinion is, you look at Malik Willis, you see a dynamic guy with the ball in his hand. You talk about making plays outside the pocket, talking about breaking tackles, talking about, you seen the highlights. I think we all seen Malik Willis highlights. Talking about he throwing 40, 50-yard balls with guys hanging off of him. I feel like he's a plus athlete. I think Desmond Ritter's a good athlete, but I don't see him as a plus athlete. I don't see him even as good an athlete as Marcus Mariota, who ironically he's going to be playing under. But I just think, really, that's a problem. He looks too much like Marcus Mariota to me. Ran a 4.5. No, right, Mariota wasn't good. It wasn't a good in the NFL. That's the problem. He was number 2 pick.
I mean, he made it to the playoffs half of the years he was there.
He threw a touchdown to himself.
Yeah.
You want Marcus Mariota just starting quarterback?
No.
I really don't mind him, bro. If he
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. He's a third-round pick. If Desmond Ritter ends up with the career of Marcus Mariota, will you feel vindicated, Nick?
Yeah.
That's about what I expect from him.
You're lying.
At best.
You're lying. Marcus Mariota, he started how many years in the league? 2, 3?
He came in like 2015.
How many years he started in the league,
though? 3, 4.
That's horrible for a number 2 pick. That's horrible. That's Jamarcus Russell.
But I think you have to look at, yet again, where Marcus Mariota came from versus where Desmond Ritter is coming from. Marcus Mariota came from Chip Kelly offense, speed. We're going to beat you by going against a defense that isn't necessarily set. You know what I'm saying? Easy reads, easy throws, find advantages in the run game, all of that. Versus Desmond Ritter, who's having to make these decisions, having to process, and really running a pro-style offense in terms of multiple reads, multiple level reads, and even full field reads. And yes, he had a strong running game with running back Jerome Ford, but I think Desmond Ritter, just his process and his ability to know where the ball needs to go, I think that puts him head and shoulders above a lot of guys in this class, especially talking about Malik Willis, where you saw him on his tape. Look one read, if it's not there, I'm going to tuck the ball and panic in a way. So that's why I kind of put Ritter over Willis, and I think Ritter versus Pickett is very close, but I just kind of take Ritter, give him the edge, especially seeing what he did, leading that Cincinnati team to an undefeated record and not playing bad against Alabama.
Okay. I mean, so with Josh,
he didn't play bad, but I would struggle to say he played well.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to play well when you got pressure in your face.
From Tennessee.
Say it again, Josh. I'm gonna say it again, man.
You guys pick good coaches, bro. Teams with great coaching staffs. Like you said, Arthur Smith, Mike Vrabel, they're both great coaches. Probably gonna be in the Hall of Fame one day. But I'm gonna go with another player who's gonna play for another Hall of Fame coach, and that's Kenny Pickett, bro. Mike Tomlin is gonna get him in the right situation, especially walking in day one. I feel as if Malik Willis played for the Titans this upcoming season, will they make the playoffs? It's a toss-up. I believe Kenny Pickett can lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs. That defense is going to be nice. He's better than Mitch Trubisky. I think he's going to be better than what Big Ben was last season. And they made the playoffs with Big Ben. You got Chase Claypool, George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, Calvin Austin just got drafted. Anthony Miller's still there. Miles Boykin, weapon. Still got Derek Watt, the best fullback in the game. I feel like
You're not gonna talk about Deontay?
I was about to say, no way you put a full for a guy that caught 100 balls.
I mean, bro, he can't catch. If you could catch, he would have caught 150 of them. That's a whole nother story. But I'm gonna go with Kenny Pickett, bro. I think he could lead the Steelers to the playoffs, especially with the best defense out of all three teams we just named.
Yeah, and I will say the defense great for a young quarterback to have. You know what I'm saying? You don't put too much pressure on the quarterback, especially his first year. And Kenny Pickett definitely has that in Pittsburgh. And they brought in some dudes with him. You got a guy in George Pickens who's watching the draft like NBA YoungBoy.
I was about to say, but yes, what they said, either all pro or suspended. No in between.
All right, bro. All right, just talent wise, start one, bench one, cut one. Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Desmond Ritter. Just talent wise.
That's easy for me. This is a black show. This is a black show. It's only one white guy in this black show. So easy. Start Malik Willis, bench Desmond Ritter, cut the Caucasian.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm cutting Malik Willis.
Yes.
I'm gonna start Kenny Pickett, and I'm gonna bench Desmond Ritter.
Why you just would have to wait to cut my guy first though?
Because
like, you didn't even follow the order of the game.
Throughout this whole process, I've never been a Malik Willis fan. Like I've liked him, but I never saw him as a guy that's gonna come in and change the franchise day one. And I think Ritter and Pickett have that ability to come in and be serviceable starters day one. Not be great, but be serviceable. And I think Malik
Ritter
Willis
would have had better stats than Willis if they both switched schools.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Nah,
because if you think about it, bro, Ritter has been a 3-4 year starter. Malik Willis had to transfer out of Auburn. Even though Cincinnati isn't Power 5, the AAC is very close to being that Power 6, as they like to call themselves.
When Cincinnati still went undefeated last year, Malik Willis at quarterback.
They would have beat Alabama. Malik Willis in Cincinnati, no cap.
You crazy.
I ain't gonna lie. We know at least two of the skilled players for Cincinnati. Jerome Ford, transfer from Alabama. He'll probably get drafted next year. Alec Pierce.
Jerome Ford got drafted this year.
Oh, he did get drafted this year.
Do your research.
Shut up. Alec Pierce got her in a white got her in a 4-3. He definitely got drafted this year. Name one scrimmage offensive player from Liberty besides Malik Willis. Crickets in the chat, GGs. That's what I'm saying. I just think that I'm not mad at you for saying that they're comparable. I just believe that, I think, this is a league of you got to make it happen, especially as a rookie quarterback. I think that Malik Willis can make more happen. He has more tools in his toolbox than Desmond Ritter. Not to say that Desmond Ritter doesn't have a toolbox. We put it like this. Desmond Ritter is an F-150. Good truck. All the Yeezys love it. Go mud and everything. Malik Willis is an F-350. Type of junction you get your neighbors. You call your neighbor when you need to move. You feel what I'm saying? Two good trucks. One is just a little bit better than the other. Shout out to all my Yeezys and my white friends that will get that one.
As always, another episode of No Cap Sports. Another edition of Game Balls. I'm going to go first. I got to give my game ball to Deion Sanders, man. He's changed the game for a lot of guys in the HBCU world. We went from last year seeing 0 HBCU players drafted to having 4 players selected this year, and a number of others picking up undrafted free agent deals, man. So I think it's an exciting time for HBCU football. More guys getting looks at all different kinds of levels. A lot of that credit has to be given to Deion Sanders, hosted the Combine this year, did a lot of things to bring those HBCU players to the spotlight. And he even got one of his own guys drafted, James Houston, to the Detroit Lions. So
Pass
for that,
rush, demon. That dude
exactly.
is demon.
So for that, I got to give Deion my game ball, man.
Man, that's a great pick. Shout out to the HBUs. I'm rocking this.
Hey, bro. Talking about, bro, you just skipped the whole letter in the jump. You skipped the whole color.
I said HBCUs, bro.
You said HBU.
Man, this dude just repped Houston Baptist University. Forgot the colored in the colored people part.
Yeah,
Keep
bro.
on, man.
Bro, it's the same thing. Tomato.
No, you can't say that, bro. This one we're not winning, bro. People like Deion doing so much,
bro. Here's an interesting fact. As you all know, I've been working as an assistant SID at Millsouth the past couple of years. This year they actually struggled a lot, but they actually had one team on campus that had a winning record. That's the baseball team. 24-19, 11-10 in conference. This past weekend they had the SAA baseball tournament, and now they're in the championship series. So shout out to them.
Shout out Millsouth. Keeping black boys off the streets. So you said that was the only athletic team at Millsap.
Hey, chill out. Don't ask too many questions, bro. Just get your game ball.
I'm just saying though, there's a lot of teams in the athletic department besides football, basketball. Like
Okay,
the
bro.
baseball
We
team-
had individuals in different sports. They were, that was nice. But
We
like,
had the best swimmer in the conference, bro.
damn near the nation.
On God. So stop hating and get your game ball.
I'm not hating. I'm just asking. This should be about 10 to 15 sports in your athletic department, and you said only one. Like, I mean, I can't. Nick is a small part of the football team. Like, you're not the quarterback. Like, you can't do everything. But like, y'all ain't got no excellent like lacrosse guys. Y'all ain't got
We
no
don't
star
have a
volleyball
lacrosse
players.
team. We don't have a
Y'all got
lacrosse team.
Volleyball.
We had the volleyball player of the year. We just ain't win a whole lot of games.
Okay, that's your predicament, Nick. Star playing a sorry team.
I guess so, bro. If that's what you want to call it.
Yeah,
That's
Malik
tragic. Man, come on, big bro. Help my man out. But my game ball. First of all, we will be remiss to not give a splattering of praise upon one Demetrius Jamel Morant. My co-eds have accused me of being a Houstonian instead of a born and bred Memphian like I am. Really than these motherfuckers. But nah, dude, he's taking off. He's taking off. Went from most improved, struggled against Minnesota, and now we just seen him drop a 47 piece with a side of has been shake that ass Jordan Poole on the side. So this dude, generational player. We're facing a team right now that's a generational team, talking about the Warriors, and he's doing everything he can. So first, shout out to Ja. But
Zion could never.
Facts.
That's for you, Josh.
Okay. But my game bar as a sign will go to one of my favorite NBA players, a real brother out of the ATL. Shout out Tip, Jaylen Brown. First of all, y'all know Jaylen Brown would look great in Beale Street Blue. I've been a big component of that. I think he's a missing piece, especially right now with how Dylan Brooks is looking. We could use some Jaylen Brown. I think Vance has some interesting things to say about Dylan Brooks, but we'll say that for when we stop recording.
Got some interesting things to say about JB too, bro.
Not as interesting as you got. Never mind. Jason Tatum had looked like he's established himself as a top 10 player. Do I get any disagreement from the group?
Top 10 right now in the playoffs or like in the league?
League.
Come on, bro, stop.
Okay, whatever. But Jaylen Brown is the critical second piece that you need. All these guys build super teams or whatever. And kind of Boston did it through the draft. They drafted JT, they drafted Jaylen Brown, they drafted Grant Williams, drafted Peyton Pritchard. The only major acquisition they had outside of the draft was Kyrie and whatever. But JB showed out yesterday. Crossed up Giannis, had Grayson out there twerking, dropped a little 30 ball. Defended Giannis very well. I seen the first quarter stats. Giannis was like 0 for 7 to start the game. And yeah, man, when that dude is right, Boston is a legit championship contender. We just seen them blow out the defending champs without the defensive player of the year. So that's a great team. Like I said, start with JT, going to Grant Williams. Robert Williams was like a all defensive first teamer next year. Like that's my favorite 2K team. You got, I think you got at least 6 or 7 guys that could be starters on another team. But JB is the spark that makes them go. He struggled in the first game, and that was one of the biggest reasons they lost a very winnable game to who are they playing, y'all? Milwaukee. Thank you. He struggled in the first game. It was a very winnable game. He didn't have some of his best games in the Brooklyn series, but they still got the sweep. But if Jaylen Brown can play the defense that he's known to play, not turn the ball over so much, and stay around this, I'll say 18 to 25 range. Shaq likes to give the points range. Jaylen Brown can add between 18 to 25 points the rest of the playoffs and play that defense that he plays. There's not a better 1-2 punch in the playoffs right now, especially considering the most skilled duo of all time just got eliminated. So yeah, man, shout out Jaylen Brown. And I really do not want to see the Celtics in the NBA Finals if it gets down to it.
That's facts, man. Celtics on top, Grizzlies on top, Grizzlies in 6. Only one right answer, man.
Would y'all rather see Milwaukee or Boston?
Nobody give a fuck about Milwaukee, man.
They only the defending champs.
Anyway,
close it out, Nick.
That's another episode of No Cap Sports, man. As you can see, we back in full effect. Stay tuned in. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And as always, we out of here.